Quite a group of people waiting to see Magna Carta tonight, including this gentleman who may have been to Fraunces Tavern once or twice before.
Hi, Tony.
Hi there. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Well, just that I'm George Watson, and I'm a past president about 20 years ago.
The secret is that not 20, couldn't have been 20 years ago, really?
Yeah.
Former president of the Sons of the Revolution. So, and here he is, waiting in line just like a regular human being, just like a mere mortal like the rest of us. Thanks for coming by. I'll catch you later. I'm sorry?
That's freedom in action.
I see a lot of orange here. Tell us about the orange on your lapel.
We're part of the New Netherlands celebration of 400 years of Dutch settlement here in the city. We're part of the Holland Society of New York, and we welcome the royal family to the city, along with the other celebrants of the 400th anniversary of the landing of Henry Hudson in 1609.
Plenty of people waiting to see Magna Carta tonight. Why don't we go into the Messick Gallery and see some of the other items on exhibit this evening?
My name is Jonathan Ridgway. I'm captain of the Color Guard for Sons of the Revolution in the state of New York.
As you can tell from the accoutrement. Nice to see you. And?
My lovely wife, Lynn.
Lynn Ridgway.
Nice to meet you, too.
Thank you so much.
Well, we know why you're here, because you're involved with the Sons.
We're so glad to be here for the Magna Carta exhibit. It's just so important. It's so wonderful to be a part of this presentation.
I'm John Mock Hilliard, past president, immediate past president of the Sons of the Revolution in the state of New York, and past president of the Fraunces Tavern Museum.
In fact, Mr. Hilliard was the president responsible for beginning this whole process.
Yes.
Didn't it begin during your tenure?
It commenced during my term of office. The idea originated with me and Dr. Lucas and Mr. Gregory, who was the executive director.
We've written in our catalog that this exhibit is about beginnings.
Exactly. It's a foundation document. And the precedent set at Runnymede redounds even to this day. Because liberties are still incomplete. It's always a struggle in each generation to extend them and to make sure that equality and tolerance and human rights are observed. It's always a struggle, a bit of a crusade. We have been able to upgrade the infrastructure of this museum profoundly as a consequence of the Magna Carta's presence. So even after it leaves in 3 months.
Look up at the way they're displaying paintings.
Yeah.
You look at the
hanging system,
air conditioning system.
The lighting, the security, the fire suppression, all of this stays when it goes. So this will be a benefit for the next generation of members of the SR and of the revolutionary community in New York who are promoting the heritage of the American Revolution and the whole heritage of human rights.
So what you're seeing is a very unusual document. This is an anastatic copy of the Declaration of Independence. We believe it was created about 1846, as I understand it. Two are known to exist, the one we're looking at now and another one which is at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. The interesting thing about this, it is a true copy of the actual original document, the handwritten document, and it was made in a period before cameras were widely used. And unfortunately, the process used to make this, they believe, actually led to the partial destruction of the original, which can be seen in Washington, D.C. If you go to Washington, you'll see the original is actually quite faint. It's not very, very light. And theoretically, one of the reasons for that is possibly the production of this document, which literally sucked the ink off of the original document in its progress, so in its creation. So, of course, nothing like that would be done today, but in 1846, technology was different and people's outlooks were a little bit different. But in any event, what it means is we have here a very sharp copy, a very readable copy of what the original document looked like when it was created in 1776. An anastatic facsimile copy of the Declaration of Independence. I'm speaking with Chris Woods, who is the conservator for Magna Carta. In fact, brought it here personally himself on an airplane from England. How was that journey?
It was smooth, actually. Yeah, uneventful, which is how I like them. Yep.
Do you feel any pressure being the care of this document is entrusted to?
Naturally, absolutely. I mean, in the run-up towards bringing it, it's always quite an anxious period. Yes, definitely.
So now that you see it in place, locked up, tight, do you feel you can relax a little bit? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I shall be even more delighted when I get back home and make sure that from my PC at home I can log into the conditions inside the case, which I should be able to do, but I won't know that till I get home. So
what Chris is referring to is wonderful technology in this amazing case in which the document is stored. It's atmospherically controlled. It is the security is built into it.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, it is wired through the internet to his computer at home, so he can monitor. What do you see when you look at your computer at home?
Normally I look at a graph of the relative humidity and the temperature. I can also look at the readings that it's logging, and I can look back over the days. I look once or twice a day just to see how the pattern of things are going.
Tell us what the document is made of.
It's made of lime sheepskin.
Did you say limed sheepskin?
So it's...
What is limed sheepskin?
It's a sheepskin that's had all its hair removed using slaked lime, which is calcium hydroxide in our modern chemical terms. And it's scraped to remove the wool layer, scraped to remove most of the flesh layer, and a nice even white smooth flesh side is produced. The back of the document, which you can't see sadly, is typical of a lime sheepskin. You can't easily write on it. There is some writing, but usually these documents produce...
What's a one-sided piece of writing?
Absolutely. I mean, if you think of ecclesiastical books, manuscript books, they tend to be written on both sides. Those are usually vellum, which is calf skin, which is a hair animal, and it gives a surface on the hair side that can be written on much more easily.
No, was a dumb question perhaps, was paper not available, or was it not considered of the proper rank for such a document, or why was this material chosen?
Well, paper reached England in about 1305.
Oh, a few years after this.
A few years after. But interestingly, there's a link with King John and Richard Lionheart and so on, because it was as a consequence of the Crusades in southern Spain that we in northern Spain, France and England learnt about papermaking from the Arabic community, of course, down in southern Spain, who in turn had learnt it from what we now call Korean people and Chinese people in earlier wars, prisoners from those countries. So paper migrated from China down across into the Middle East, but didn't reach Western Europe until 1300 or thereabouts.
Similar migration to spaghetti.
Absolutely.
Pasta.
Yes, and olives.